Here's your market recap for Wednesday, April 23rd, starting with a look at some of your sale barns from around the state for Wednesday. Windsor Livestock Auction, couple of stickout sales there, 78 head of 741-pound heifers, $294.50, 70 head of 779-pound steers at $315, 61 head of 859-pound steers at $290.50, 35 head of 702-pound steers at $331.50. Looking down at Springfield, 35 head of 779-pound steers at $302, 32 head of 675-pound heifers at $310, and 23 head of 597-pound steers at $379. So far for Wednesday, negotiated cash trade has been at a standstill in the Texas Panhandle, Nebraska, and the Western Corn Belt. In Kansas, negotiated cash trade has been mostly inactive on very light demand. Last week in the Texas Panhandle, live FOB purchases mostly from 208 to 210 for the prior week in Kansas, live FOB at 210. Last week in Nebraska at 212 to 214, the dress delivered from 332 to 340. For the prior week in the Western Corn Belt, live FOB at 212, the dress delivered at 335. Looking at your closing beef cuts for Wednesday, choice closed at $331.97, up 24 cents. Select cuts at $314.52, down $313. That's based off of 171 total loads, 108 loads of choice, 38 of select, 8 loads of trimmings, 17 loads of grinds. The choice select spread at $17.45. Looking at your estimated daily livestock slaughter under federal inspection, estimated cattle receipts for Wednesday, 122,000. 1,000 less than last week, 3,000 less than a year ago. The week-to-day estimate, 350,000. Estimated hog receipts for Wednesday, 488,000. That's steady with last week, 8,000 more than a year ago. The week-to-day estimate as of Wednesday's close, 1,329,000. Looking at your closing futures on the Chicago Board of Trade for Wednesday, corn contracts, May 472 down 3 3/4, July 479 1/4 down 4 cents, September 445 1/2 down 4 1/2, May soybeans up 5 1/4, 1040 1/4, July 1050 1/4 up 4 1/4, and August 1043 1/4 up 2 3/4. Wheat contracts, May closed at 528 1/4 down 7 1/4, July 543 1/2 down 6 3/4, and September 558 1/4 down 6 cents. On the Mercantile Exchange, live cattle, April 212.70 up 132, June 208.10 up 182, and August 203.87 up 142. Feeder cattle contracts, May 288.35 up 142, August 292.17 up 92 cents, September 291.20 up 95. Lean hogs uneven, May 91.87 down 35 cents, June $100.15 down 12, and July $100.30 up 2 cents. Missouri cash grain bids paid to producers, daily trends for Wednesday, soybeans 5 to 15 higher, wheat 7 lower, corn 2 to 5 lower. Corn bids in St. Louis, $4.93, Kansas City 432 to 477, Milo in Kansas City at $3.97. Soybeans in St. Louis at $10.66, Kansas City $9.85 to $10.60. Wheat bids in Kansas City at $5.18, St. Louis at $5.28. That's your market recap for Wednesday with the Missouri Department of Agriculture. This is Caroline Carter. Have a good day.